The project, born from the ashes, touches upon the problem of domestic violence. This is a series of murals about strong women who have managed to break the cycle of violence in their life. Our first speaker is the author of project's idea, Evgenia Fulin. The idea arose a year ago after my motherhood, when I strongly devoted myself to the charity, very strongly, and I thought it would be very good to create a project about violence not via white-black photos of victims, because beaten women are used to photo of bruises but in form that represent strong women in new unusual concept. Money was given by fund. The project was under UNESCO aegis and there were two sponsors, and aegis of UNESCO made project international. Very easy, we had no problems at all. For the first mural, we got agreement from the Darnica district authorities, and here Svetoshin district administration gave us permission. They were glad to welcome mural. We didn't heard phrases like, "No, we won't allow to do that. We won't let you to do this." These murals are made from my photos, and how I found women? Well, unlucky it is not so hard in finding victims of violence, as we have an unpromising statistics not only in the Ukraine but in the whole world, and unfortunately each fifth of models sealed with different form of violence, psychological, physical, economical, so we didn't have to find for long. When I started to think which photos will be the mural, as mural need to be emotional, draw attention, and first mural Phoenix shows very clearly that woman is regenerating, and this mural shows that this woman is very strong, that she is a winner. I made sociological quiz among my models and we came to general vision. It is real hard for victims of violence to tell their stories, so she agreed after a week or two. Because in Ukraine it is like a shame, we have a stereotype that if you are beaten it is your fault, as what you have done to prevent it, so it was a hard decision. Because it represents a strong woman, it can look a bit rudely, but composition shows a woman as a winner. I don't think that women are a weak gender. I'm against any forms of violence. I don't think that men who beat women are innocent. All of who beat others are guilty. It is my view of the world. The society reacted gladly. And while working on the first mural, we saw people telling, "Draw a dog over there," or saying with laughing, "Paint our president." But in the whole, reaction was positive about murals. People like bring colors of murals. They are pleased that we deal with such serious themes. Media helped us a lot. First, about our mural wrote magazine Vecherny Kiev. The publication had a lot of positive comments. Of course, first of all, we have to finish our third mural, which is under the aegis of UNESCO. Yes, I will work on project Born from the Ashes. And now we are starting a big project in collaboration with Svetoshin district administration and Antonov factory. It will be a project about Ukrainian mythology and the history of plane of Antonov factory. We plan that murals will beat Ukrainian and European records. We will start work in spring. The second speaker is the painter of mural Czech Queen Katerina Serbinova. We worked with students. They were very interested in project, gladly took part in it because it was a great practice for them work with materials. And theme was also interesting for them. We gathered for a week. In the end, artist Yulia helped us. If we don't take into account the time for preparation of a wall, project was done in a week. Well, the main motivators are private. My husband's uncle worked in the police and he beat his wife, and it is very hard to help. She had no close relatives and it was very hard to do something. It was awful. The situation is worsened due to the fear of victims to open, to tell their stories loudly, and often they have no place to go, especially if they have small children. It is very important to help these people, to work with them, so mural means a lot to them. By the way, there is a series of murals and not only artists but also psychologists work on the project. Our third speaker is the author of sketches and artist of mural Phoenix, Yulia Abramova. Well, the process was quite long because we worked in group and UNESCO also participated, made some amendments. Eugenia told me about project. I became interested and we worked with Eugenia's photos with her reflections. My task was to make pictures conceptual. For example, if a woman has become free or she is freeing herself. For example, we made first sketch like woman is flying. You see these ties, these wings of inspiration, so she has freed through her creative potential. Violence is a vision circle and you need some push to free yourself from this circle. In our work, creativity is such a push that ties repressed forces that restrain here and also fear. On sketches worked I and one artist, Yana Vlashenko-Bernatskaya. Process was hot. As we started in summer and firstly worked with all, there was an advertisement on it. We deleted it, repaired the holes, and then started working on mural. We did it from the projector. And so began, we had many questions about our work. There were a lot of people who wanted to participate, to paint this street. This street is crowded and people came and asked us about work and join. So we have a lot of volunteers, especially while working on some drawing. In drawing, there are many details and we have a lot of work with this, so people helped gladly. The work durated for a month and a half. We worked all day from morning till night, and it was a period of vacations, so some people were away. That's why it was a long process. Of course, there were a lot of stories, people gave us food and even money, as a lot of people liked mural. Violence is almost everywhere, in different forms, and sometimes we even don't identify violence, so it is a bit of insane work to figure out it, to understand. By the way, even in team exists violence, and older people who are wiser notice it, because they have or have read some information or feel it by intuition. But some people don't notice. Yes, sometimes it is hard to identify violence. For example, if another person throws up in you, it is a violence, psychological and almost physical. But we don't think so. Well, some hysteric, that's strange, but a person is bad and it is violence because you have a lot of stress. And maybe even some especially small children. So it is an insane process to realize it, to go into the matter, into the deepness of your soul. A kind of meditation, more for yourself and about yourself. When we were working, we had a lot of women coming and saying that they faced with violence, but were silent. And then began a discussion why they didn't tell anything. We have a big problem of stereotype.